Live from the CSI Baseball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet brings to you NCAA Division II baseball action live on the ECC network. Today's conference doubleheader, I should say, features the Lions of Lincoln University taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nicholas Bavona. It will be a quick, abrupt pregame show for us here. Lineups are being exchanged at home plate. I will be doing the introduction for our starting lineups, and we'll be doing the national anthem. And for now, I will step off a headset for just a quick moment. So what I'll do is we'll take a quick commercial break, and I'll be back to bring you starting lineups, and I will bring you stats and the results of yesterday's conference double matchup between these two teams, as the Dolphins were able to take both games from the Lions yesterday, winning Game 1 17-6, winning Game 2 10-5. But like I mentioned, lineups are being shown at home plate, and that will mean that the starting lineups will be introduced in just a moment. So what I will do is I will step in the other room. I will bring you those starting lineups once we are ready to go, and I'll be back here on the air to bring you action between the Lions and the Dolphins, another doubleheader as these two teams finish their four-game set here at the CSI Baseball Complex. And we are back here from the CSI Baseball Complex with Lions being introduced. The national anthem has just been played, and we are just moments away from first pitch here as the Dolphins and Lions finish up their four-game series here at the CSI Baseball Complex. The Dolphins, as I mentioned before break, taking the first two games of this four-game set. They took Game 1 by the final of 16-7. They took Game number 2 by the final of 10-5. So the Dolphins' offense certainly came to play yesterday after having some good work against Mercy earlier in the week on Sunday. We saw the Dolphins here at the CSI Baseball Complex last week against Mercy struggling to get runs on the board. But when they went to Dobbs Ferry, the Dolphins offense put up 8 runs in Game number 1. They lost Game number 2 11-7. And they would carry that offensive momentum here at the CSI Baseball Complex just yesterday. As I mentioned, they scored the 16 in Game 1, 10 in Game 2. So 26 runs combined from the Dolphins offense in those two games. And they also got some help along the way. We saw Lincoln in Game number 1 with 6 errors. Game number 2, they had 4 errors. And the Dolphins also were able to force 10 walks in each game against the Lions. So Lincoln obviously knows that they need these two games here today. The Dolphins obviously would love to keep their momentum going. They now go with the 2 wins yesterday. They go to an even 500 now in conference play. They are 8-13 on the year, 3-3 in conference play. With the 2 losses from the Lions yesterday, they dropped to 7-15, and now 1-5 in conference play. And my broadcast partner Joe Foreman and I mentioned yesterday on the broadcast, if the Dolphins take 3 out of 4 in this series, it's going to be tough for Lincoln to get back into the standings, considering how these teams are playing. Stack has still not played a conference game. We'll see them play next week here at the baseball complex when the Dolphins take on the Spartans. But now in this scenario, we look in the side of things for the Lions where they need to win this game here today. They might need to take both of these games to have a chance to stay alive in conference standing-wise. For the Dolphins, obviously, getting a win today would be huge for them and keep their momentum going and trying to go to 5-3 potentially if they could get another doubleheader sweep. As leading off for the Lions will be Miguel Agramonte. And we are just about to get underway here at the baseball complex. I hear the national anthem being played behind me at the softball complex. They are also getting underway. As here's Christian Rice's first pitch. That one misses for a ball. We are underway. Christian Rice will get you his numbers in just a moment. The 1-0. Now misses high. It's quickly 2-0. I have the numbers for Rice. We'll bring you that after this next pitch. Agramonte quickly up in the count, 2-0. And now it misses it high again, 3-0 now the count. On the year for Christian Rice, he has 1-1. He has started 4 games, all of them of his appearances, so he started every single game he's appeared in. Has a 4.19 ERA. In 19 of the 30, he's allowed 18 hits, 13 runs, 9 of those earned. 14 walks and 17 strikeouts, and now add another walk to his tally there, as it's a 4-pitch walk to Agramonte to start the game. And now I'll bring up Alex Jones with a runner on. We saw Jones yesterday in game number 1 with an opposite field home run into right field. And he has an early runner on. He shows bunt. And he takes it all the way for a strike, 0-1. Rice checks the runner at first, the 0-1. That one swung on a miss, and quickly it's 0-2. So Christian Rice looking for a quick punch out after allowing the early walk. He's got Jones down the count 0-2 here. And swung on and missed as Jones chases that high fastball, and he's down quickly to retire the first out of the inning. So Jones chases the high fastball for the first out, and that'll bring up Jalen Greenidge now with one away. As the Lion first baseman will try to get something going here. Agramonte still at first base. And he hits that one foul behind the plate. As I mentioned, a quick pregame for us as things got underway just a little bit early. First pitch looked like it was around 11:58. And we did not get a lineup card until about 2 minutes before both managers went behind home plate to exchange lineup cards as that one chopped down toward the Dolphin dugout foul. 0-2 now the count to Greenidge. So we had to scramble up here to write in the lineups for our introductions. But we got those underway. We are all good now, and we're now midway through the first so far. As Rice checks the runner at first, Agramonte back in safely. Still an 0-2 count to Greenidge here. Ground ball short, could be 2, and it goes under Rodriguez's glove. So that's going to go down as an E6 for the Dolphins right there. As that could have been a tailor-made double play for CSI. But just goes under the glove of the shortstop Rodriguez, and now it's first and second for the Lions, still only one away.
Number 8, Jaden Greenidge.
And now I'll bring up Jaden Greenidge now, the Lion third baseman. So an early error for the Dolphins. They're hoping that does not play them as it did for the Lions yesterday. So that one misses on the outside for a ball, 1-0. Now, we're not sure how updated these stats are for Lincoln. I'll bring you Greenidge's numbers in a second. He's having a remarkable start to the season as he swings and misses for a strike, 1-1. On the year, he's hitting .353. He has 1 home run, 5 RBIs, a slugging percentage of .529. And has started all games so far for the Lions this season. As the 1-1 from Rice is in there for a strike now, 1-2. I mentioned softball just getting underway just down the road from us at the softball complex. The Dolphins taking on the Knights of Queens College. So this is high for a ball. My broadcast partner Joe Foreman calling those 2 games down at the softball complex. He might be able to join me here for game number 2 of this doubleheader between the Dolphins and the Lions. You would assume that those games will finish up before we finish up here. 2-2 now the count for Rice. That one is popped up in the air. And the catch will be made by the catcher, Kehoe. And there's now 2 away. A dangerous play right there. If Kehoe, if that drops, the Dolphins still could get the out at third base.
Now that number 10.
But a nice job by Kehoe to make the play right there. So now 2 away in the inning. And now I'll bring up Wesley Hogan. Hogan had himself a nice day at the plate in both games yesterday for the Lions. Made some home run bids with some of the hits that he had yesterday. He's got first and second with 2 away. And he takes that one inside for a strike, 0-1. In both games that we saw yesterday, the Lions took an early lead on the Dolphins in the first inning. Game 1, they were up 1-0 heading into the bottom of the first. In Game 2, they were up 2-0 heading into the bottom of the first. The 0-1. That one just misses outside for a ball. 1-1 now the count. In Game 1, Hogan was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And in Game 2, he was 1 for 4. And he hits this one down the right field line toward the Lion bullpen. Sotero on the run. Did he hold on to that ball? And I think he did. He did. What a catch by Sotero in right field to retire the side. It was Vigliotti originally trailing to get that ball, and Sotero called him off and Palermo off in right field, and the Dolphins will strand the 2 runners on base to head this one into the bottom of the first. Dolphins coming to bat, scoreless between Lincoln and CSI. And we are back from the CSI Baseball Complex. The Dolphins were able to strand runners on first and second in the previous half inning. And for the first time in this 4-game series, they did not allow a run in the first inning. As they will come to bat, and they will look to take the lead for the first time in this 4-game set. They have trailed after 1 through all 2 games that they played yesterday. Dennis Flores is the pitcher for the Lions here today. As Michael Keogh will lead off for the Dolphins. We'll get the numbers on Flores quickly. On the year, this will be his 4th start for Flores. He is 2-1, a 5.79 ERA. He's pitched 18 2/3 of an inning, 25 hits, 13 runs, 12 earned, 8 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .338 against him. As he has a quick strike on Michael Keogh, 0-1. Keogh getting another start behind the plate as he checks swings on that one. They say he went around, and he's down 0-2. So a quick 0-2 count for Flores to Keogh here. Now one chop down the third base line, foul. And remain 0-2. Keogh yesterday in game number 1 was 1 for 3 with 2 walks. And in game number 2, he was 0 for 2, but did walk 2 times in that one as well. So that makes it 1-2 on that pitch in the dirt. Now, while we're here at baseball, we'll also be bringing you softball updates. So when I see any updates, I will let everyone know. The score of that one is Keogh down looking on that one inside pitch from Flores. And it's quickly 1 away in the inning. That brings up Brian Burkhead with 1 away. Game number 1 for Burkhead. He was 0 for 4. Did have an RBI in that one. Game number 2, he was 2 for 3. And at one point, he accounted for all the Dolphin hits early on in that game. The Dolphins only had 5 hits in game number 2. And still were able to score 10 runs. Game number 1, they attacked for 15 on those 16 runs they would score. Burkhead quickly up in the count 2-0. Different contrast of styles in each game that we saw yesterday as that one's in there for a strike. Game 1 saw the Dolphins offense take advantage and get some big-time hits. They trailed early 1-0. They were able to get 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning to take the lead. They would not surrender that lead. That one's hit into left center field. That's going to go into the gap for a base hit. Burkhead's rounding first. He'll head into second base. The throw into second will not be in time as Burkhead's sliding in with a 1-out double. Ryan Burkhead continues his hot stretch these last couple of weeks as he gets a 1-out double to get the Dolphins now a runner in scoring position. And a prime RBI opportunity now for the Dolphins, and especially for this man at the plate, A.J. Vigliotti. You see a replay of the double from Burkhead. And now a chance for Vigliotti to add to his RBIs if he can get a single right here. Misses that one inside for a ball 1-0. Interesting defensive alignment for the Lions here. They're leaving right field open for Vigliotti. We know he could certainly pull the ball into right field if he's able to. That one on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Vigliotti had a huge day at the plate for the Dolphins yesterday. In game number 1, we'll bring you to that stat in just a moment. He's got a 1-1 count here with 1 away. As he swings and misses for a strike, 1-2. In game 1 for Vigliotti, he went 4 for 5. Scored 4 times in that game, had an RBI, and drew a walk. Monster game 1 from him there. He's looking for another start to game 1 here. Tried to deliver the first run of this one. Down the count, 1-2. That one just misses low on the outside corner for a ball. Now 2-2 the count. So a 2-2 count now to the Dolphin first baseman, number 22, A.J. Vigliotti. Chris Polomini will follow him on deck. 2-2 from Flores. Hit foul towards the parking lot. So we'll do it again here on 2-2. And that one is swung on a miss for strike 3. Flores got Vigliotti to swing at that high fastball and threw it right past him. And a huge out number 2 recorded by the Lion pitcher. And it'll be up to Chris Polomini now with 2 away to try to bring home that runner Burkhead from second. And we saw yesterday with the Dolphins, that one's in there for a strike. The 4 runs that I mentioned they scored in game number 1 in that first inning all came with 2 outs. So they would love another 2-out rally here. Polomini, we know, has had himself a nice start to the season. He hits this one into shallow right field. Playable for Greenidge. He will make the catch and retire the side. So the Dolphins do strand the runner on second here in the bottom of the first. We now head into the top of the second. Scoreless between the Dolphins and the Lions.
G Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information.
Top of the second here at the CSI Baseball Complex, a scoreless game between the Lions and the Dolphins. As both teams had a RBI opportunity in the first inning. Both teams were able to escape the jam and now work them into the second inning. Solomon Dever will lead it off for the Lions. First pitch from Christian Rice misses inside for a ball, 1-0. Currently in the top of the second inning at softball. Still a scoreless game between the Dolphins and the Knights as that one's fouled behind the plate, 1-1. Dever yesterday had a nice game number 1, 2 for 5 with an RBI. Now get the start of game number 2 as he's quickly up in the count 2-1. And that one will hit him. So for the second straight inning, the leadoff runner will get off for the Lions as Dever is hit by the pitch. And that'll bring up Sebastian Aguirre here.
Number 20, Sebastian Aguirre.
Aguirre again, another start behind the plate. He started game number 1 in this doubleheader between the Dolphins and the Lions yesterday. Gets a start once again here in game number 1 of this doubleheader. He has an early runner on first endeavored. That one's on the outside for a strike, 0-1. Time being called at the plate. Count remains 1-1 here. Correction, the count is 0-1 as Rice will check the runner at first base. Dever's back in safely. And now Warren showing bunt. Weigel comes in at third. And that one fouled behind the plate. So Warren shows bunt on the 0-1 count. It goes foul. Now he's down the count 0-2. And he will now have to swing away here. That one chopped. Might have hit Warren. And that will go be foul. So remain 0-2. So still 0-2 to Aguirre here with a runner on first. That one hit into right field. Long run for Palermo. And Palermo makes the diving catch. What a diving catch from Michael Palermo in right field. He robs Aguirre of an extra base hit. And a huge out number 1 recorded for the Dolphins, as that certainly would have put the Lions up 1-0. Now, the only issue is I don't know if we're going to be able to see that on our replay from the angle that we had, but Michael Palermo down that right field line, that would have been a fair ball. As he had to extend his way down into the right field corner. And a huge out number 1 recorded from CSI. Bunt showed from Ascona. Rice will flip it on to Vigliotti at first. There's now 2 away in the inning, as Dever now moves into scoring position at second base. I'll bring up Gio Morales now with 2 away. Morales played in both games yesterday. Pinch hit in game number 1. Would deliver with an RBI single. Got the starting Geen, number 2. Misses for a ball 1-0. RBI chance for Morales here to try to give Lincoln an early 1-0 lead. Devitt on second and 2 away. That one on the outside for a strike, 1-1. Rice will check the runner. Devitt back at second. The complexion of this inning has certainly changed. Lions thought they had an extra base hit to give them an early 1-0 lead. But Michael Palermo had other plans, as now the count's 1-2. So Christian Rice now 1 strike away from escaping another jam. Again, the Dolphins out of the inning, still scoreless. Got a 1-2 count on Morales here. That one in the dirt for a ball, 2-2. After Morales is back to the top of the order for the Lions. Yellow Agramonte on deck. 2-2 now the count for Rice. That one in on the hands of Morales as he fouls it away. Count will remain 2-2. Two fouled away. They now head into the top of the third. It's at the softball complex. Still scoreless between the Knights and the Dolphins. Still scoreless here at the baseball complex. Gio Morales looking to make sure that statement does not stay the same. The 2-2 from Rice. In on the hands again. And then it goes foul behind the plate. So second time in the at-bat. That Rice is thrown up and in. And Morales has swung it. Has just barely gotten a piece of it. So we'll do it again here on 2-2. Rice looking for a punch out to retire the side. The 2-2. And he will get that punch out as Morales is down swinging to retire the side. So Christian Rice gets the strikeout to record the final out of this inning. But he also got some help in the outfield from his right fielder, Michael Palermo, as his diving catch saves a run from the Dolphins as we head into the bottom of the second. Still scoreless between CSI and Lincoln.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Thomas Marr will lead off here at the bottom of the second. Still scoreless between the Lions and the Dolphins. As Marr takes the first pitch strike, 0-1. Dolphins certainly grateful to still be in a scoreless tie. So that one on the outside once again, 0-2 now the count to the Dolphin designated hitter. That one hit foul towards the parking lot. Here's the best look we can get of that Michael Palermo diving catch. You'll see him go off your screen to make that play. I know it's not really doing it any justice that the catch wasn't seen on the camera, but the Dolphins would certainly tell you that that catch definitely made a difference. Martin now has a 1-2 count here. Now misses high and outside, 2-2 now the count. So it's now 2-2 for the Dolphin designated hitter Thomas Martin. And that one's out the outside corner for a strike 3. So an early punch out for Flores here to start the second. And that'll bring up Vincent Weigel now with one away. Weigel had himself a nice day at the plate yesterday. Game number 1 went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Game number 2, he went 1 for 3 and 3 RBIs. As he'll hit this one towards second. Throw on to first base is in time. And there's now quickly 2 away. So 2 now down in the inning. They'll bring up Anthony Cetera. Cetera with the big blow for the Dolphins yesterday. In game number 1, the Dolphins were tied at 1. Cetera came up with the bases loaded and would deliver with a bases-clearing 3-run triple. To give the Dolphins a 4-1 lead, they would not surrender. They lead from there on. Now a miss on the outside for a ball, 1-0. That one in there for a strike now, even in the count of 1. That one on the outside for a strike now, 1-2 the count. Flores quickly gets back in the set, the 1-2. Misses on the outside, 2-2. So I mentioned we saw a lot of runs yesterday. Both pitchers have been very quick to start off this game here today. 2-2 from Flores. Chop down the third base lines, does stay fair. Greenidge will throw onto Greenidge, and that will retire the side. So the Dolphins will go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second. We now head into the top of the third. It is still scoreless between the Lions and the Dolphins.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Back for the top of the third inning between the Lions and the Dolphins. Still scoreless between these two teams, as both pitchers have done themselves a good job of getting out of some early jams. As Miguel Agramonte will lead it off here in the top of the third. Back to the top of the order for the Lions. It'll be Agramonte, Jones, and Greenidge. As the Lions still searching for their first base hit of this game. As Agramonte hits that one foul towards the park line 0-1. Lions have so far reached base on one Dolphin error, a couple of walks from Rice, and a hit by a pitch. The 0-1. Skips in the dirt for a ball, 1-1 now the count. Still no update from the softball complex. Still scoreless between the Dolphins and the Knights. They're in the bottom of the third inning. The 1-1 from Rice. Misses inside for a ball now, 2-1. Two-1 count now to Agramonte. That one hit into left field, but shallow enough for Burkhead. He sets under it and makes the play for the first out of the inning. We saw yesterday the wind play a factor into the games between these two teams, but the wind only played a factor mostly for the balls hit into right field. That one just stayed under for Burkhead to easily make the catch. You get that first out of the inning. This brings up Alex Jones. As I mentioned, he had a home run in game number 1 of the doubleheader yesterday. And he had a factor into one of those balls that were hit into right field where the wind took it. As he hits this one up the middle, and that one's through for a base hit. No chance right there for Rodriguez to make the play. And the Lions will have their first base hit of the game as Jones is on with a one-out single.
Number 12, Jalen Greenidge.
So Jalen Greenidge now comes up with a runner on and one away. Dolphins obviously would love a double play ball here if they can get it. The Jalen will be Jaden Greenidge. Is that one hit foul near the bleachers, and the count goes to 0-1. Have an update now at softball. The Dolphins have a 1-0 lead on Queens at the bottom of the third. RBI single for Olivia Wanser. The 0-1 in there for a strike now, 0-2. So Rice has an 0-2 count now on Jalen Greenidge here. Line first baseman trying to get on. The 0-2. That one hit foul behind us. 0-2 still the count. Third straight inning, the Lions have gotten a runner on. First two, they've gotten the runner into scoring position. They're looking to do it again here, as Rice will check the runner at first, but Jones is back in safely. Still the count 0-2 to the line third baseman Greenidge, as they will again check Jones at first base. He's back in safely once again. So a couple of errant pickoff attempts yesterday in the two games between these two teams. 0-2 from Rice. That one hit the second. Could be a double play ball. 4, they're not going to get it. Sotero tried to flip it to Rodriguez, but it looked like it went out of reach. And that'll be the second Dolphin error of the game.
Now back, number 8, Jaden Greenidge.
So Jaden Greenidge now comes up. He'll have first and second, one away. That's one the Dolphins would love to have back. That could have been an easy double play to get them out of the inning. And now the designated, the number 4 hitter in the lineup for the Lions. Greenidge comes up as Keogh blocks that one in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Quick second look at that last play. Sotero played it beautifully on the hop, but the exchange to short was just not there at second base. The shortstop Rodriguez. Now it misses high and inside for a ball quickly, 2-0 now the count. We saw Rice escape this jam earlier in the top of the first inning. He now has another jam right here in the third. And that one's on the inside for a strike. 2-1 now the count. Lion third baseman trying to bring home a run and give Lincoln the early 1-0 lead. He's got an early 2-1 count here. The 2-1. Now misses high for ball 3. So Rice is now in danger of loading the bases with the walk here. 3-1 now the count to Greenidge. Wesley Hogan on deck for Lincoln. Here comes the 3-1 from Rice. That one swung on a miss for a strike, and now the count's full at 3-2. Looked like Greenidge was a little bit early on that one. And we'll have to see, folks. With 3-2 and still 1 out, we'll see if the Lions do run on this next pitch. Rice checks the runner at second. They do not go. That one hit into center. Long run for Polomini. It's going to go over his head. It's actually gone! It's a 3-run homer for Greenidge. And, folks, that might be a first. I don't think I've seen a home run hit the dead center. Jaden Greenidge with a 3-run homer gives Lincoln a 3-0 lead. It looked like that ball was going to hit off the top of the fence in dead center field, but it rested right under the tarp or the batter's box in center and at the top of that fence in center field. A stunning development to give Lincoln an early 3-0 lead here in the third. That one's in there for a strike, 0-1. Second look at the replay. Polomini kept trying to get to that ball, but surprisingly, it goes over the center field wall for a home run. That last one was chopped foul, 0-2. That one in there for strike 3. And Rice gets the strikeout right there to bounce back, and it's now 2 away in the inning.
Now back, number 30, Solomon Dever.
Solomon Dever now comes up with 2 away. He reached first base last time on a hit by a pitch. And he hits this one down the first base line foul, 0-1. So for the third straight game now, Lincoln has jumped out to the lead. And that one hit into left field. This one could get some carry. It takes a one bounce off the wall. Solomon Dever is into second base standing with a 2-out double. So Dever will extend the inning with that 2-out double there. And he certainly made a home run bid on that one. It's right off the bat. It looked like that was going to go over the wall. So Sebastian Aguirre now comes up with a runner on second, 2 outs. He hits this one up the middle. Rodriguez has to take it on a hop. He'll throw it to first base, and a good scoop from Vigliotti at first to retire the side. So the Lions do strand a runner in the inning, but not before Jaden Greenidge delivers with a 3-run homer into dead center field. We head to the bottom of the third. Lincoln leads this one, 3-0.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. wanted to do a podcast. Everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
We are back for the bottom of the third inning. And Lincoln now has a 3-0 lead off the 3-run homer from Jaden Greenidge. It brings on Michael Palermo to lead off the bottom of the third. Palermo takes the first pitch on the dirt for a ball 1-0. Certainly a first for us here. Not many times you see a home run here at center field. That one hit the short as Hogan takes it on the one bounce, and a nice throw from Hogan. That took a tough bounce towards him, and he makes a strong throw to first base to retire Palermo and get the first out of the inning. And now bring up Nico Rodriguez with one away. So the complexion of this game has now changed. The Dolphins, for the third straight game against the Lions, are trailing once again. And we know this team could certainly fight back as Rodriguez shows bunt, but goes foul 0-1. In Game 1, the Dolphins trailed 1-0. In Game 2, the Dolphins trailed 2-0. Now fitting that here in Game number 3, that they now trail 3-0. They will obviously hope to not trail 4-0 going into the fourth game of this 4-game series between these two teams. The 0-1 for Flores. Just misses on the outside for a ball 1-1. Dolphins have 8-9-1 in the inning. Palermo was the first man up. Now it's the number 9 hitter, Rodriguez. He'll be followed by Kehoe. So I'm missing the outside 2-1. So we saw a game when the Dolphins came back. They've got 4 runs in the bottom of the first. To take the lead, they would not surrender that lead, as I mentioned. In Game 2, they trailed 2-0 at the end of the top of the first. They would then score 3 in the bottom of the first, took back the lead. Then it would be tied once again at 3 in the second inning. The Dolphins regained the lead in the fourth on an error, and then they would not surrender that lead. Lincoln did make it a 1-run game. And the top of the sixth inning, the Dolphins would get 4 insurance runs in that bottom of the sixth to give them a 10-5 lead, and that would be the final of game number 2. Rodriguez's last foul ball now makes the count full here, 3-2. Again, just hits it softly foul behind the plate. Dolphins so far with just 1 hit in this game. That being the double from Burkhead earlier on the first inning. The 3-2. And that one misses high for ball 4. So it's a 1-out walk issued by Flores to Rodriguez. And it's back to the Dolphin top of the lineup for Michael Kehoe. Kehoe was retired his first time up. That's a good runner at first base in Rodriguez, as he takes that one on the inside for a ball 1-0. If Kehoe can get on, the Dolphins will bring the tying run to the plate. It's a 1-0 count for the Dolphin catcher. And he'll hit this one into center field. It's a long run for Agramonte, but he'll make the play in center. And there is now 2 away in the inning. So now 2 away in the inning. That brings up Brian Burkhead. He still has the lone Dolphin hit in this game. A look to extend the inning here for the Dolphins to try to bring up the tying run of Vigliotti on deck. Rodriguez at first, 2 away in the inning. Dolphins with a hit and run down the right field line, but just foul toward the Lion dugout. Or excuse me, the Lion bullpen. So we've seen a lot of the Dolphins this season with the hit and run scenarios, and they try to do it right there. Yeah, that had stayed fair. That would have easily been an RBI double for Burkhead right there. We'll see if they try it again here at 0-1. He hits this one towards first, and a nice scoop at first base from Greenidge. He'll step on the bag and retire the side. So the Dolphins strand a runner here in the bottom of the third. They now head into the top of the fourth. Lincoln leads this one, 3-0.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Top of the fourth inning here at the CSI Baseball Complex. A 3-0 lead for Lincoln, as they got a 3-run home from Jaden Greenidge their last time up. Jeffrey Ascona will lead it off here at the top of the fourth. So far has had a good start from Dennis Flores. Ascona swung half swing on that one in the dirt. 0-1 now at the count. It'll be 8-9-1 in the inning for the Lions here. That one in there for a strike 0-2. Ascona, Morales, and Agramonte for Lincoln here in the fourth. Christian Rice quickly has an 0-2 count. And that one swung on and missed on the outside for strike 3. So Rice gets an early strikeout on 3 pitches to retire. Ascona there's now 1 away.
Now that number 24, Gio Morales.
Brings up Gio Morales with 1 away. He takes that one in there for a strike, 0-1. Morales has one of the 3 hits so far for the Lions in this game. And he's quickly down the count 0-2. Christian Rice has thrown 5 straight strikes to start the inning. He'll look to make it 6 in a row and get 2 straight strikeouts. The 0-2. And maybe a commentator's jinx right there. That one misses on the outside for a ball. 1-2 now the count. The 1-2 from Rice. It's softly foul behind the plate. Still 1-2. Dolphins do trail by 3, but We know the Dolphins can come back from these type of scenarios. Dolphins' main goal to get back into this game. They're going to have to get on base. So far, just the one hit. They'll be able to issue a couple walks. The next half inning, they'll have 3, 4, and 5 coming up for them. Still a 1-2 count here. From Rice to Morales. Now one hit into left field. And Burkhead is just going to be able to make the catch. Originally, Burkhead went to trail in to make the play. Had to go back to retrieve it. And almost got away from him. But he is able to make the catch. And record the second out of the inning. Now bring us back to the top of the order for the Lions and Miguel Agramonte. So early here in the fourth inning, this will be Agramonte's third at bat. Only his second official at bat. As he walked his first time around. And he'll take that one for a strike 0-1. And if you're Christian Rice after a tough third inning, Dolphins would love a 1-2-3 inning here in the fourth. Try to build some confidence. Now one chopped to second. Tatera will throw it on to Vigliotti in time to record the final out of the fourth inning. So the Lions do go down 1-2-3 here at the top of the fourth. Dolphins coming to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning. Still trail this one, 3-0.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
AJ Vigliotti will lead it off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Dolphins still trail this one 3-0. Count 0-1 to the Dolphin first baseman here. He's now quickly down to count 0-2. Dolphins at the inning will have Vigliotti, Polomini, and Thomas Martin. The 0-2 from Flores. This is high for a ball, 1-2 now the count. Dolphins still searching for their first hit since the first inning. Flores has retired them since. Vigliotti just taking that one on the outside low for a ball, 2-2 now the count. Vigliotti went down swinging his first time up. The 2-2 from Flores. Misses on the inside for a ball now. Full count, 3-2. So Vigliotti has come back from an 0-2 count now. Has worked it full 3-2 here for Flores. And that one will miss on the outside for ball 4. So a leadoff walk issued by Flores to Vigliotti. And a good at bat from the Dolphin first baseman to get back into the count. Chris Polamini now comes up with a runner on. Dolphin center fielder looking to get on to bring the tying run to the plate. As that one misses on the outside in the dirt for a ball 1-0. So after having Vigliotti an 0-2 count, Flores is now throwing 5 in a row. He's looking to find his command once again. The 1-0. That one hit into right field. That one will drop for a base hit. And the Dolphins will bring the tying run to the plate as Chris Polamini is on with a base hit right there. Their second hit of the game. So Thomas Martin comes up in a huge spot for the Dolphins here early on in this game. He'll have first and second, still nobody out. He represents the tying run for CSI. We know he is certainly capable of home run power. He would love to tie it on one swing. That one in the dirt. Good block from McGuiran. 1-0 the count. Second look at the replay for that previous base hit for Chris Polamini. The Dolphins' first hit since the bottom of the first inning from Brian Burkhead. It's a 1-0 count. Greenidge is in at first base. There's a strike. I would be very stunned. They did have Greenidge in at first on the corner. Now they'll back him up. But I thought it would be very stunning if the Dolphins would have Martin bunt in this spot. They know he's certainly capable of putting something into the gap. And he might have just done it with that swing. That one is into the gap for a base hit. Vigliotti rounds third. He will score. Polamini's rounding third. He will score as well. It's going to be a 2-run double for Thomas Martin. And the Dolphins are within one. It's 3-2. Maybe the commentator's jinx worked this time. I mentioned Martin could get something into the gap. After it initially looked like maybe the Lions were thinking a bunt would happen, Martin gets a 2-run double, makes this now a 1-run game, and the Dolphins have the tying run now in scoring position to bring up Vincent Weigel. So a huge spot now for the Dolphin third baseman. As a single into the outfield, we'll tie this game at 3. And how about the base runner for Polamini on that one? So he was able just to get in to home before the throw on the cutoff. It looked like he was originally going to score with ease. But a good relay from the Lions to make it a close play. Throw was just a little bit offline towards the plate. Count now is 1-1 to Weigel. One to Weigel here. And he just hits it foul. The count goes to 1-2. So once again, the Dolphins trailed early. A 3-0 lead after the home run from Greenidge. They now have made this a 1-run game. It was still nobody out in the inning. They would love to bring home that tying run in Martin from second base. Weigel is down the count here, 1-2. And he'll hit this one foul behind the plate. And I almost forgot to say the line, folks. With that last base hit, they get the Dolphins their third hit of the game. Once again, number 33 delivers the third hit of the game for the Dolphins and brings home 2 in that spot. The 1-2. That one in the dirt, recovered nicely from McGuiran. Count goes to 2-2. So Flores had been working nicely these last couple of innings against the Dolphin hitters, but has found himself into a jam here. 2-2 now the count to Weigel. And he'll hit this one foul down the right field line. And think about how the inning started for Flores. He was up 0-2 on Vigliotti. He then walked him on 4 straight. Then he gave up a base hit to Polamini to make it first and second, and on a 1-1 count, would give up that 2-run double to Martin. He's now got a 2-2 count still here to Weigel. And that breaking ball just misses on the inside. And you can see Flores is not happy with that call. He thought that one was in there for strike 3. And that's a crucial pitch now. And now it makes the count full at 3-2. First base is open for the Lions. Weigel will hit this one into right field. That one's in for a base hit. Here comes Thomas Martin. He will score with ease. Vincent Weigel delivers with an RBI single, and the Dolphins have tied the game at 3. Still nobody out in the inning. And another rally from CSI. Anthony Sotero now comes up as we'll have a mound visit coming up for the Lions here. So we'll get a replay of that previous base hit from Weigel. No throw into the plate as well from Alex Jones out in right field. As Thomas Martin got a good jump of it. And he would score standing. So after the Dolphins after only having one hit coming into this inning, they have now recorded 3 in the inning and have scored 3 runs because of it. And we have a brand new ball game. Still nobody out. Anthony Sotero is the batter. As this inning, it looks like it's just gone away from Flores. That they look like he's going to start the inning with another strikeout. Also, an update at softball. The Dolphins now have a 2-0 lead on Queens. They are now in the top of the 5th inning. Bridget Molly got a walk with the bases loaded and was able to score a run from that walk. Count 0-1 here to Anthony Sotero. He hits this one into shallow right. Playable for the right fielder Jones. He'll make the play and retire the first out of the inning. So certainly something Flores needed right there to get some confidence back into him. As he retires Sotero on that fly out. Brings up Michael Palermo now with 1 away. And now, folks, in this spot, don't be surprised if the Dolphins bunt in this scenario. Yeah, Rodriguez up on deck. We know he's having good numbers on the season. We'll see if they do let Palermo bunt. They do not. He takes that one on the inside with the ball. Obviously still 1 out in the inning, so the Dolphins would still like to keep it 1 out and get Palermo on base. Does have good speed if he's able to get something maybe down the third base line. The 1-0. And the Dolphins going for the hit and run there. But Palermo just got a piece of it foul. 1-1 the count. It's the second time in the inning the Dolphins have tried to hit a run. So Palermo gets his call from his manager, Mike Morrow. Be a 1-1 to Palermo here. He'll again take it on the inside for a ball, 2-1 the count. So far, every pitch of this at bat has been inside to Palermo, not trying to give him anything that he could potentially hit down that third base line. We know he can get some opposite field base hits. He's up in the count quickly, 2-1. And he'll take that one for a strike, 2-2. Some of the Fanatics not happy with that call, as they voice their displeasures with that called strike 2. So it's now a 2-2 count here to the Dolphin right fielder. Here comes the 2-2 from Flores. Now a hit down the left field line, foul. Palermo's already made a big impact in this game so far. His diving catch is the reason why this game is not a lead for Lincoln so far. Diving catch in right field prevented a run from scoring. The 2-2. That one chopped up the middle. Could be a double play. 6. It's not going to happen again, but they do get the out still at second base. So there will be a fielder's choice 6-4 putout there at second. Could have been another double play ball, though, for the Lions this time around. Nico Rodriguez comes up with 2 away now. Palermo at first. And I think that was one where Weigel thought that the out was already recorded. He had stopped initially on his way to second base. And the ball was unfortunately dropped at that point, and he was just not able to make it in time. As they check Palermo at first base, he's back in safely. Here's a second look at the replay. They check again, Palermo at first. And you see right there, Weigel slid in early before he got to the bag. And again, they check Palermo, and again, he's just back in safely. So because of Weigel sliding in early, that prevented him from getting into second base. And they got the pickoff this time, folks. Palermo got a huge lead at first base, and Flores retires him on the pickoff attempt right there. Look at the second replay quickly here before we head into commercial break. You see the big lead from Palermo there. Beautiful throw from Flores to retire the side. As we now head into the top of the 5th inning, Dolphins do get 3 in the inning on 3 hits. They tie this one at 3 apiece.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back for the top of the 5th inning here at CSI. A brand new ball game between the Lions and the Dolphins as the Dolphins tie the game at 3 apiece. Count now 1-1. So Alex Jones will lead it off here in the top of the 5th. 2, 3, and 4 for Lincoln. That one hit sharply to short. Rodriguez makes a long throw to first base, and they retire Jones in time for the first out of the inning.
Now back, number 12, Jalen Greenidge.
Jalen Greenidge now comes up with 1 away. Dolphins in that last half inning getting 3 runs on 3 hits. The big blow being the 2-run double from Thomas Martin to make it a 1-run game. He would score the tying run. An RBI single for Vincent Weigel. The 1-0. That one again hit towards short. Rodriguez again plays it on a hop. And a great scoop at first base from Vigliotti. Great defensive play by the Dolphin first baseman to retire the second out of the inning as they get Greenidge in time. A tough throw from Rodriguez playing that one on the hop. And he was just able to record that out on the scoop from Vigliotti. We'll get a second look in just a moment. There's Jaden Greenidge is the batter here for Lincoln. So what he did last time up. A 3-run homer into dead center field. That one just resting under the batter's box in the top of the fence as he's on with a 2-out single. Fourth hit of the game now for the Lions. Second one from Greenidge. He'll extend the inning right here for Lincoln. Here's a second look at that last defensive play for the Dolphins. As you see, Rodriguez played on the backhand and had to make the throw on the run, and a great scoop at first from Vigliai to record the second out of the inning. That one hit into right center field. That one's going to drop in for a base hit. Palermo will cut it off and hold the runner at first base. Greenidge will go into third base standing. And it's back-to-back singles for the Lions here with 2 away. And they'll now have first and third for Devard coming up. Or correction, for Devard. I don't know why I said the other way. I know yesterday our public address announcer said that pronunciation. Solomon Devard is the batter. With 2 outs, now first and third for the Lions. They now have 5 hits in this game as they look to once again break this tie. Devard had a double his last time up. And he has a chance again here. This one hit into left center field, but it's going to be right there for Polamini to make the catch and retire the side. So a little bit of dramatics for the Dolphins in this inning as the Lions were able to get back-to-back singles to make it first and third with 2 outs. But Devard flies out to Polamini in left center field to retire the side. We now head into the bottom of the 5th inning. Dolphins will look to break this 3-3 tie between them and Lincoln. Nico Rodriguez leads it off in the bottom of the 5th inning. Still a tie between the Dolphins and the Lions. 3-3 the score. CSI will have 9-1-2 in this bottom of the 5th inning. Rodriguez, Kehoe, and Burkhead. Christian Rice got into some trouble in the previous half inning, but was able to get Solomon Devard out on a fly ball into left center field as Rodriguez swings and misses for a strike 0-1. Still 2-0 lead for the Dolphins at softball. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning as they're looking to close out Game 1 of the doubleheader between them and the Knights. Meanwhile, we're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now, I believe we're scheduled for 2 9-inning games here today between these two teams. The original schedule for this week was supposed to be 1 game on Thursday, 2 on Friday, 1 here today. But with the rain out on Thursday, it led to 2 doubleheaders being played. We saw the 2 games yesterday here at the baseball complex, 2 more here today. As we're having a conversation now behind home plate, Mike Morrow will discuss with the home plate umpire. I think it has something to do with time being called at the plate. Mike Morrow didn't seem pleased with that conversation. He heads back to the dugout. Count still 0-1 to the Dolphins shortstop Rodriguez here. The 0-1 for Flores. That would end there for a strike 0-2. There is action up in both bullpens for each team. Let's see how longer both Rice and Flores go in this game. Both teams would certainly like them to go 6 or maybe even 7 innings in this one before heading to the bullpen. Thomas is on the outside, 2-2 now the count. So yesterday, both teams were able to avoid using a lot of relievers in the first 2 games of this series. That one again misses on the outside. So we saw how the last inning happened for Flores. He had the first batter down in the count 0-2, then walked him on 4 straight. In danger of doing it again here in the 5th. 3-2 from Rodriguez. And he will do it for the second straight inning. So Rodriguez down the count 0-2, works a leadoff walk. That's a dangerous leadoff walk to put Rodriguez on first base. And this could potentially be a bunt scenario for the Dolphins here for Michael Keogh, the leadoff hitter. You have Burkhead on deck and then Vigliotti following him. Dolphins looking to break the 3-3 tie. They do show bunt. It misses. The throw to first base. Did they get him in time? Rodriguez is just back in safely, and he might be hurt, folks. He took a hard slide into first base. I'm not sure if it was his shoulder or maybe his hand that he maybe potentially hurt on that slide back into first base. He is going to walk it off. Not sure maybe if he got dust in his eyes either, but he seems to be okay now. That's a good sign for CSI there. So they did show bunt on that first pitch. Keogh missed it for a strike. We'll see if they show it again here on 0-1. Rodriguez remains in the game for the Dolphins. Misses for a ball, 1-1. One count now to the Dolphin catcher Michael Keogh here. Shows bunt again. It's hit high towards the first base line near the Lion dugout, but foul. So the count now goes to 1-2. So Keogh will now have to swing away in this next pitch. Very quick game going on at the softball complex. They're now into the top of the 7th inning. CSI still has a 2-0 lead. Kennedy Ruth is pitching a gem right now for CSI in that one. That game goes final. I will let everyone know. Dolphins 3 outs away from picking up the first win of the doubleheader there. So a long way to go in this one here. Tie game 3-3 at the bottom of the 5th. It's a 1-2 to Keogh coming up. He hits this one to third. Could be 2. Greenidge on to second for 1. Throw to first base will not be in time. As Escono cannot get the throw to first base in time to get Keogh retired. So it'll be a fielder's choice put out. 5-4 on that one. And there's now 1 away in the inning. So Brian Burkett comes up with 1 away. Look like Keogh maybe was a little bit shaken up after reaching first base safely. I think he is okay, and he is okay. He will stay in. Brian Burkett comes up with a runner on first. Now 1 out in the inning. Hit a run for the Dolphins there as Burkett will hit that one fouled on the left field line 0-1. Oh-1 the count to the Dolphin left fielder Burkett here. We'll get something into the gap and potentially bring Keogh home from first base. The 0-1. This is in there for a ball, 1-1 now the count. It's now a 1-1 count for Flores to Burkhead. Again goes Keogh, and again down the right field line, foul. And it's now 1-2. Second time in the at-bat, they go for the hit and run. So now 1-2 to Burkhead here. This time's called at the plate. And Flores will now get set and ready for a 1-2 pitch to Burkhead. That one just chopped foul as Burkhead gave a half swing on that one. Still remains 1-2. As you mentioned, the Dolphins took the first 2 games of this doubleheader yesterday. They are looking for now the next 2 games of this doubleheader here today. The 1-2. That one hit into right field. That's through for a base hit. Keogh's rounding second. He'll head to the third base standing as Jones will not get the throw in time. It's a 1-out single for Brian Burkhead, his second hit of the game, and the Dolphins now have the go-ahead run on third base. Brian Burkhead will deliver once again his second hit. And with the speed of Keogh, he goes from first to third. And A.J. Vigliotti now in another prime RBI opportunity spot for the Dolphins here. First and third, 1 out. And I would not be surprised also during this at-bat if Burkhead tries to steal second base to prevent any double play ball from being hit. Let's see if he goes here on this first pitch. He does not. And Vigliotti will hit this one into dead center. This will bring home the run. Agramonte makes the play. Tagging from third base is Keogh. He will score. And the Dolphins have come back from a 3-run deficit. They now lead this one 4-3. So Vigliotti did the job that he needed to do. Hit this one into dead center field. No chance for the Lions to get the out at the plate. And an easy sacrifice fly scored. Bringing home the go-ahead run now for the Dolphins and giving them down to their first lead of this game. Brings up Chris Polamini with 2 outs. Still a runner on first base. Polamini got a single his last time up as they check Burkhead at first. Second look at the previous sacrifice fly from A.J. Vigliotti. Comes the first pitch to Polamini from Flores. Tagging to second base is going to be Burkhead, and he will be in there safely. So Burkhead does get the stolen base, and now the Dolphins have a runner in scoring position. Burkhead did not even slide on that one either. Could have been a dangerous play and cost the Dolphins an out right there. But he just gets in safely. Count is 0-1 to Polamini. He swung and missed on that first one. He'll hit this one down the right field line, foul territory, and out of the reach of Greenidge. Count remains, now I should say, goes to 0-2. Here's the previous stolen base, the swung on a miss from Polamini. Burkhead just getting it safely. So Polamini down the count now 0-2. 2 away in the inning, and the Dolphins now have the 4-3 lead. Polamini can extend the inning. That brings up Thomas Martin on deck for the Dolphins. Here comes the 0-2 from Flores. He checks the runner at second. And that one fouled again from Polamini towards the parking lot. Still 0-2. So we'll do it again here. 0-2 for Polamini. Dolphins center fielder looking to add another run here in the inning. And he swings and misses for strike 3. So Flores gets the strikeout to retire the final out of the bottom of the 5th, but not before the Dolphins bring home the go-ahead run on a sacrifice fly from A.J. Vigliotti. We head into the 6th. Dolphins lead this one 4-3. Top of the 6th inning here at CSI Baseball Complex, and the Dolphins now have a 4-3 lead after a sacrifice fly from A.J. Vigliotti, bringing home Michael Keogh in that previous half inning. Now, I do have an update from the softball complex. They have gone final in game number 1. So there's a swing and a miss on the first pitch for Sebastian Aguirre, and 0-1. The Dolphins did get themselves into trouble in that top of the 7th, as Queens had the bases loaded with 2 outs. But Kennedy Ruth was able to get out of the inning and get the win, throwing a complete game shutout. As the Dolphins win 2-0 in game number 1 of their doubleheader with the Knights of Queens College. As Aguirre swings and misses, he's down the count now 1-2. So a very quick game at softball. Obviously just 2 runs being scored on for those 2 teams. So they might have another quick start there afterwards as Aguirre takes that one inside for a ball. 2-2 now the count. Now that second game was originally scheduled for 2 o'clock at softball, so we'll see if they push the start time to that one, maybe around, give or take, 1:45, 1:50. Warren hits this one down the right field line towards the bleachers, but foul. Still remains 2-2. $7.89 in the inning coming up for the Lions. Gorin currently at the plate. Then it's followed by Ascona and then Gio Morales. Christian Rice came into the inning at 75 pitches. Dolphins hoping to get 2 more innings out of him. He's got a 2-2 here to Warren once again. And he misses high for ball 3. 3-2 now the count. So it's full count now, 3-2 to the Lion catcher Warren. And that one just chopped foul behind the plate. Still 3-2. We'll do it again here. 3-2 from Rice to Warren. And that one swung on a miss in the dirt for strike 3. Keogh will throw it onto first base in time. They get the put out right there, and there's 1 away in the inning.
Now batting, number 2, Jeffrey Ascona.
Jeffrey Ascona now the batter for the Lions here with 1 away. And if you're the Dolphins, you've got to like what you've seen from Christian Rice since giving up that 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Back-to-back scoreless innings. He's looking for a 3rd straight scoreless inning here. As Ascona swings and misses for the first strike, 0-1. That one in the dirt for a ball, 1-1 now the count. Try to see what the pitch count for Flores is also as well. I mentioned Rice has 75 coming into the inning. Get a live tally of what Dennis Flores has going into the bottom of the 6th if he is to come back out. The 2-1. Misses on the outside for ball 3. So Rice is in danger of walking the tying run to first base and bringing the go-ahead run to the plate in Morales. The 3-1. And that one misses on the outside for ball 4. So the tying run now goes to first base for the Lions with 1 away. Go-ahead run now at the plate in Gio Morales. And we do see Mike Morrow coming towards the mound. Question is going to be, is there going to be a pitching change? I haven't seen any action in the Dolphin bullpen the last couple of innings. Saw it earlier in the game. This might just be a talk with Mike Morrow towards his pitcher to see how much longer he can go. And they will keep Rice into the game. So Mike Morrow gives Rice another inning. Let's see how much longer he goes here in the 6th. The Dolphins obviously want him to go past this 6th inning. And who knows, maybe they bring him out for the 7th inning to try to get another inning of work. Morales is the batter for Lincoln. He represents the go-ahead run. Tying run at first base. And maybe now into second base. Throw from Keogh, not in time. And the tying run now moves into scoring position. So Ascona gets the stolen base there. Count is 1-0 here to Morales. And if he can get a base hit into the outfield, he'll tie this game at 4. The 1-0. And a bunch shown from Morales there. Misses. And it counts 2-0. After Morales is back to the top of the lineup for the Lions. Agramonte on deck. The 2-0. That one hits softly foul. Just a little bit near the press box. Didn't hit one of the windows, thankfully, and the windows are closed. Except for the one with our camera. 2-1 now the count to Morales here. And that one misses for ball 3. First base is open for Rice. But he does not want to put the go-ahead run on base and give Agramonte an opportunity for something in the gap to take back the lead for Lincoln. The 3-1 from Rice. That one hit down the left field line, but foul. So up until this point, this is probably the most important pitch we've seen so far in this game. A walk puts the go-ahead run on base for the Lions. A strikeout gives Rice a huge second out of the inning. It'll be 3-2 coming out to Morales here. And that one misses for ball 4. So the go-ahead run now reaches first base safely on the walk. And it's now first and second, one out for Agramonte.
Miguel Agramonte.
If Agramonte is able to get something into the gap, he will be able to give Lincoln back the lead. I originally mentioned he was the starting center fielder earlier. That is the man at first base, Gio Morales. He is the center fielder. Agramonte in left field today. He's got him down the count early, 0-1. Misses high for a ball, 1-1. Double play obviously gets the Dolphins out of this jam. It's a 1-1 count now to the Lion left fielder as that one misses high and inside. 2-1 now. Two and one now the count to the Lion left fielder with first and second and one away. Lincoln trail in this game 4-3 here in the 6th. That one hit deep into left. Burkhead gives this a long run, and he will rest under it to make the catch. Both runners will tag for the Lions. The ball is bobbled by Rodriguez, but thankfully the runners do not advance another base. There's now 2 outs in the inning. So Agramonte now makes it second and third with 2 away. And it'll be up to Alex Jones now, and he has an opportunity with just a base hit to give Lincoln back this lead.
Now back, number 6, Alex Jones.
So a huge at bat here now here in the top of the 6th for number 6, Alex Jones. Second and third, 2 away. His team trails 4-3. As he gets a half-hearted swing, but it's in there for a strike. On the follow-through from Jones, 0-1 the count now for Rice. This very well could be Christian Rice's last at-bat of the game. He would like to get out of the jam and keep this 4-3 Dolphins, and he's 1 strike away from doing so. He's up in the count early, 0-2. And you hear the Fanatics, folks. They are getting behind him. Looking to give some spark to the Dolphin pitcher, get him a strikeout to retire the side. The 0-2 from Rice. Skips in the dirt for a ball, 1-2. Rice trying to get Jones to chase on that one, but to no avail there. First base still open for Rice on this at bat. Count is now 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 from Rice. That one hit into center. Polomini rests under it. He will make the catch. Christian Rice gets out of another jam. And he was very excited that he did get out of the jam as the Lions strand 2 runners in scoring position here in the top of the 6th. We head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Dolphins lead this one 4-3.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Thomas Martin leads it off here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Still a 4-3 lead for CSI. Christian Rice got himself out of a jam the last half inning. Salem is on the outside for a ball 1-0. That might have been Rice's last batter of the game as well. And if so, he did definitely give the Dolphins some good innings in this one. That went in there for a strike 1-1. If that was to indeed be his last batter, he will have gone 6 innings, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. 2 of those runs being earned. As Thomas Martin hits this one into right field. Long run for Jones, and he will make the catch. A long run for Jones in right field on that one. And if we maybe had the win that we had yesterday, he might have had an extra base hit for Thomas Martin, but Jones retires Martin for the first out of the 6th inning. Vincent Weigel now comes up. He was responsible for tying the game for the Dolphins with his last RBI single. Martin was responsible for putting the Dolphins within 1. As he gets a half-hearted swing. I'll check at first base if he went. He did not go. So counts 1-0. The 1-0. Just misses again. Flores is not happy with the strike zone on that one. Counts now 2-0. Action is up in the Lion bullpen as well. So that one's on the outside corner for a strike, 2-1 now. The 2-1. Half swing again from Weigel. Did he go? He did not. And it's has been a frustrating at bat so far for Flores here. Weigel's been able to hold up twice on check swings. He's got a 3-1 count now. He'll hit a chopper back to the mound. Going to be a tough play for Greenidge at third base, and he gets him out at first. Nice play at third base from Jaden Greenidge. And a nice stretch from Jalen Greenidge, excuse me, at first. So now 2 outs in the inning for Anthony Cetera. Cetera will look to get a 2-out rally for the Dolphins here. First pitch from Flores. In there for a strike, 0-1. That one skips in the dirt for a ball, 1-1 now. The count to Cetera. The 1-1. That one hit foul down the right field line, 1-2. It'll be a 1-2 count out of the Dolphins' second baseman, Cetera. That one skips in the dirt for a ball, 2-2 now, the count. Here comes the 2-2 now from Flores. That one chopped down the first baseline, foul. Still 2-2. So we'll do it again here. 2-2 to Cetera. And misses on the outside for ball 3. So now 3-2 from Flores to Cetera here. That one hits softly behind the plate, foul. Still 3-2. So we'll do it again. 3-2 for Cetera. Trying to keep the at-bat going and keep the inning going for the Dolphins. And he hits this one up the middle. Going to be a long play for Hogan. He throws on to Greenidge in time, and they do retire Cetera for the final out of the 6th. As the Dolphins go down 1-2-3 here at the bottom of the 6th inning, we head to the top of the 7th. CSI leads this one, 4-3.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Top of the 7th inning here at CSI. A 4-3 lead still for the Dolphins. And a new pitcher coming on for the Dolphins in relief. Is Nick Pusinelli is the reliever that's coming on here in the 7th. As he will replace Dolphin starter Christian Rice. For Pusinelli, this will be his 4th appearance of the year. Does have 1 start. He's pitched 5 1/3, has allowed 4 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 6 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .211 against him on the season. He inherits a 4-3 lead coming into the top of the 7th. The CSI will try to take the first 3 games of this 4-game set between them and the Lions. The 1-0. Misses for ball 2, so it's quickly a 2-0 count. 3, 4, and 5 of the inning coming up for the Lions here. Pusinelli now is down in the count 3-0. It's Greenidge followed by Greenidge. As the 3-0 is going to be swung on into left field, but Burkhead is right there, so they do give Greenidge the green light. But a costly out number 1 for the Lions right there as Burkhead makes the play in left field. 1 down here in the 7th. We have Jaden Greenidge now with 1 away. He's the man responsible for the 3 runs for the Lions in this game with that 3-run homer coming back in the 3rd inning. Lions since have been retired. So that one's in there for a strike 0-1. The 0-1. Skips in the dirt on the outside for a ball. 1-1 now the count. Wesley Hogan on deck for the Lions. So we know Greenidge certainly capable of breaking a tie right here with 1 swing. The Lions are just looking to get a runner on. Try to put him in the scoring position. So misses for a ball. 2-1 now the count. The 2-1. That one in there for a strike. And you can see right there, Jaden Greenidge not happy with the call right there. He thought that was outside high. It's now an even count at 2-2. And it skips in the dirt for ball 3. So now a full count coming up to the Lion third baseman. As the Dolphins looking to get a strikeout right here from Pusinelli. Here comes the 3-2. And that one is swung on a miss for strike 3. Jaden Greenidge is down swinging on the strikeout from Pusinelli. And there's now 2 away here in the 7th. I'll bring up Wesley Hogan now. As the Lions shortstop will look to try to extend the inning. And that will miss in the dirt for a ball. 1-0. Action once again going up in the Dolphin bullpen. So that one hit toward the Dolphin bullpen, but foul. Count now goes to 1-1. That one hit toward the Dolphin dugout, foul. And Hogan now down the count 1-2. So Pusinelli looking for a second straight strikeout. And looking to retire the Lions 1-2-3 here in the 7th. Here comes the 1-2. And a good off-breaking ball from Pusinelli is in there for strike 3. As he fools Hogan with that off-speed pitch to retire the side. Lions go down 1-2-3 here at the top of the 7th. We head into the bottom of the 7th inning. CSI leads this one 4-3.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Michael Palermo leads it off here in the bottom of the 7th. 4-3 lead for the Dolphins still. And another inning of work for Dennis Flores, who got the start here today for the Lions. He will try to keep this a one-run game heading into the 7th. As Palermo shows bunt, but it goes foul behind the plate 0-1. 8-9-1 in the inning for the Dolphins. Palermo, Rodriguez, and Keogh. I mentioned we had a lot of runs being scored in the first two games with these two teams yesterday. You've seen a pitcher's duel here today in game number 3 of the 4-game set. A 4-3 lead for the Dolphins in the bottom of the 7th inning. Allen on the inside for a ball 1-1. Should be getting underway very soon at softball. Game 1 ended pretty quickly. Game 2, I believe, is going to be starting any minute now. Allen's fouled towards left field, 1-2. And indeed, they have started. So, softball is getting underway for their second game of the doubleheader. The 1-2 from Flores is swung on a miss for strike 3. Palermo down swinging for the first out of the 7th. Now bring up Nico Rodriguez. Rodriguez would like to deliver here with one out. Takes that one high for a ball 1-0. He takes that one for a strike, 1-1 now the count. So softball with their win go down to 10-13 on the season. That one chopped right off of the leg of Rodriguez. That one had to have stung. Looks like he is okay. He'll stay at the plate. The count now goes to 1-2. Okay, any update that softball, I'll be sure to relay them along here. It's a 1-2 count now for Rodriguez. Flores looking to get past the 7th inning and bring it on and keep his team within a run. That one blooped down the first base line, and what a diving catch by Greenidge! Greenidge in foul territory gets the out recorded, and there's now 2 away. Both teams flashing the leather in this one. As Michael Keogh comes up now with 2 outs in the inning. So Palermo's diving play in right field earlier. And now we see Greenidge at first base make a diving catch for the second out of the inning. As Michael Keogh is down the count early 0-1. Gets this one fouled. He's quickly down the count 0-2. Dennis Flores has pitched himself a good game in this one. The one blemish on his stat line is that 4th inning, in which he allowed the 3 runs that would tie the game at that point in time. And the sacrifice fly in the 5th gave the Dolphins the lead. The 0-2. That one chopped to short. Long throw for Hogan will not be in time. And the ball will go out of play as well. So Keogh's going to get a single on that one, and the error will let him go to second base. So it'll be a single and an E6 on that one. That'll go down as the 6th Dolphin hit of the game and the first error now for the Lions. Even with the good throw on line on that one, Keogh was going to be safe at first base regardless. Got a replay here. As I think that's going to be it for Dennis Flores in this one. And you can see Keogh is going to be safe. So Dennis Flores' day is done. We'll try to see who the new pitcher is before we head into commercial break. With the lefty Burkhead coming up, it looks like the Lions will bring a lefty to come in. Let's see who that is real quick before we head into commercial break. I think they signaled number 3. That would be Pedro Santos, if that is the case. And that is indeed the case. Pedro Santos will come on for the Lions. We'll give you his numbers when we come back from this commercial break. Dolphins have a runner on second. They lead this one, 4-3.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Back for the bottom of the 7th inning with a runner on second and Michael Keogh. Pedro Santos is the new pitcher for the Lions. They trail this one 4-3. And Brian Burkhead is the batter for the Dolphins. Pedro Santos, this will be his 5th appearance of the season. He's 0-2. He's pitched 8 2/3. He's allowed 11 hits. 26 runs, 24 of them earned, 16 walks, 8 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .333 against them. With a lefty-lefty matchup, they are looking to get the out here in Burkhead. This Burkhead quickly has a 2-0 count. It's been short work for Santos so far on the season. He's also started 2 of his 4 appearances. And he's quickly down the count 3-0. On deck for the Dolphins is A.J. Vigliotti. .3-0 now the count for Burkhead here. Now went in there for a strike, 3-1. No action up the Dolphin bullpen. Looks like Pusinelli will get another inning of relief. As Burkhead is on with a 2-out walk. So A.J. Vigliotti will have another chance here. 2 outs, first and second. And he's got good runners on the bases as well. If Vigliotti can get something into the gap, can certainly bring home both runners. That went in there for a strike as Warren showed a fake throw to second base. Vigliotti quickly down the count 0-1. The 0-1. Nice breaking ball from Santos in there for a strike. Vigliotti quickly is down the count 0-2. .2 misses on the outside. 1-2 now the count. .2 now the count for Vigliotti. First and second, 2-way in the inning. And that one is on the outside corner for strike 3. A huge punch out recorded by Pedro Santos as the Dolphins will strand first and second here at the bottom of the 7th inning. We will now head into the top of the 8th inning. CSI still on top, 4-3. Top of the 8th inning here at the CSI Baseball Complex. It is still a 4-3 lead for the Dolphins as Dick Pusinelli will come out for his second inning of relief and try to keep the Dolphins up 1 run. And if he can, the Dolphins will look for some insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Solomon Dever will lead it off here at the top of the 8th. That one misses on the inside. Did that hit Devard? And it did not. It looked like it did for a second. It actually hit the bat. So the count's going to be 1-1. I thought initially it hit something. It did look like it hit something. And I thought it hit Devard at first, maybe on the shoulder pad. But it hit his bat. Has now a 2-1 count here. It'll be 6, 7, 8 in the inning for the Lions. Is that one in there for a strike now, 2-2. Devard, Aguarin, and Ascona coming up for Lincoln here in the inning. The 2-2 from Pusinelli. That one hit into right field. That might drop it for a base hit. It will. It falls right in front of Palermo, and Devard is on with a leadoff single. And the tying run now moves to first base for Lincoln. And Sebastian Aguirre now will come up. And I'd be curious, folks, if he maybe tries to bunt in this spot. If he were to bunt, that would move the runner into the tying run into scoring position. To mention on deck is Jeffrey Ascona. We've seen him lay down a bunt in this game. Benson Weigel is in at third. They do bunt. It's hit right towards Keogh. He'll throw to second. He got the out. They'll throw to first base. They got the double play. Unbelievable double play turned by the Dolphins. And there's 2 away. I did not think they had a chance at second, but what a heads-up play by Keogh. Michael Keogh made an unbelievable read on that bunt attempt. 2 away now in the inning. We'll get a replay in a second to get the official putout on that one. So let's see. The bunt attempt hits in front of the mound. That's going to be 2-6-3 on the putout. Incredible double play for the Dolphins. And a backbreaker right there for Lincoln. They try to get the runner into scoring position, and they just were not able to do so. Count now 1-2. Pusinelli now a strike away from getting the Dolphins out of the 8th inning. The 1-2. Misses on the outside. 2-2 now the count. I just cannot believe that the Dolphins were able to turn that double play. They got the out at second in time. That one chopped down the third base line. Just goes foul at the last second. It was more of the throw to first base. It looked like they were not going to be able to get Aguirre out in time. But a great strong throw from Rodriguez. Got Aguirre out in time for the second out of the inning. So another 2-2 here from Pusinelli. And swung on and missed, strike 3. Down goes Ascona for the final out of the inning. As the Dolphins defense once again potentially saves a run in the inning. A 2-6-3 double play on a bunt attempt will send us into the bottom of the 8th inning. CSI still leads this one, 4-3.
When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most, preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer, off the court, it's about education and working to earn a degree. Creating healthier campuses through groundbreaking research and policies. And a fair shot so dreams can stay on track. United as an association, we've got work to do. We're building a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at the CSI Baseball Complex. We got a good one here, folks. 4-3 lead for the Dolphins still. And how about what happened in the last half inning, folks? We saw a 2-6-3 double play recorded by the Dolphins. Michael Keogh getting the bunt attempt that was forced by Aguirre in front of him, throwing it to second base, and a clean throw to second base at that too. And then Nico Rodriguez would make a great strong throw to first base just to get Aguirre out in time, preventing the runner going into scoring position for Lincoln and keeping this a one-run lead for the Dolphins. As Pedro Santos will come back out for the bottom of the 8th inning. He was able to get the final out of the 7th inning. He's quickly behind the count 2-0 here to Chris Polamini. They make that now 3-0. Dolphins in the inning will have 4, 5, and 6. Polamini, Martin, and Weigel. They will try to get some insurance runs. They were able to do that yesterday in game number 2. And they'll have a leadoff walk as Santos walks Polamini on 4 pitches. Now in game 2 of that one, that was where we saw Lincoln come back from a 6-3 deficit to make it 6-5. The Dolphins would get out of the inning and keep it 6-5 heading into the bottom of the 6th. And they would get 4 insurance runs to have a 5-run lead going into the top of the 7th and win the game. They're looking for some insurance right here. As Martin takes that one high and outside 1-0. Martin's already played a dividend in this game with a big 2-run double to put the Dolphins on the board at the time. They made it 3-2. Santos misses again, 2-0. So Santos has missed with the first 6 he's thrown in the inning. This is a spot where the Lions really need him to try to get a ball into play, maybe get a double play to get themselves out of potential danger. The 2-0. That one swung on a miss. As Mara was a little bit behind on that one. 2-1 now the count. There is double action up at the Dolphin bullpen. As Martin takes that one for a strike now, 2-2. Trying to see what the numbers are. It looks like Alice Martinez is one of the relievers that's warming up. I thought maybe for a second the other reliever was Matthew Polomini. That is it looks like that is a 32. Going to second was Polomini on the run. It's a long hit for Martin into left center field. This one is gone! Thomas Martin with a 2-run homer. The Dolphins get some insurance. They lead it 6-3. Thomas Martin now with a 4 RBI day. He delivers with a 2-run blast into left center field to give the Dolphins a 3-run lead here in the 8th inning. That ball kept carrying into left center field. And Martin delivers a big blast for the Dolphins to now give them a 3-run lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Brings up Vincent Weigel now. Very demoralizing now for the Lions. As Santos was originally about to make his pitch, but time is being called, and they might make a pitching change now. Yeah, I think that is indeed the case. So Santos was about to throw a pitch to Weigel, but they will take him out beforehand. So Santos will come out. Lincoln will make a new pitcher. We'll bring in a new pitcher here after Martin's 2-run homer. We'll have to see who the new pitcher is before we head into commercial break. 6 unanswered runs for the Dolphins after trailing 3-0 through 3. They put up 3 in the 4th inning on a 2-run double from Martin. An RBI single from Weigel tied the game. They would then take the lead in the 5th inning on a sacrifice fly from Vigliotti. And then Thomas Martin delivering with that 2-run homer here in the 8th. Giving them now a 6-3 lead. Now, there is a conference at the mound right now. There is a new pitcher coming in for Lincoln. And I'm not sure if there's a jersey issue that's going on right now. And it looks like there is. We're trying to see who the number is for the Lions coming in. We'll have to see in a moment. It looks like 34 as well. Could be 34. We saw Daryl Husband pitch yesterday. As they'll have to fix the jersey. You usually see this in basketball sometimes where the players have to tuck in their jerseys, but rare occasion we see it here at baseball. So trying to see. I think that is a 34 that's coming in. And I think that is Daryl Husband, the new pitcher for the Lions. So we'll relay that towards our commercial break and see if we have Daryl Husband coming into the game. If it is Daryl Husband, he comes in now at a 6-3 lead for the Dolphins after a 2-run homer for Thomas Martin.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
So it is indeed Daryl Husband that will come on here in the bottom of the 8th. The Dolphins now have a 6-3 lead after the home run from Martin. They will continue to add some insurance runs in this inning as it brings up Vincent Weigel. It'll be the first batter Husband faces here in the 8th. Thomas is on the outside for a ball 1-0. As we mentioned, pitched in yesterday's game between these two teams. His count now is 2-0. So it doesn't look like the stats are fully updated for Lincoln on their website. This should be Husband's 8th appearance now of the season. He's quickly behind the count 2-0 to Vincent Weigel. Has an RBI hit already to his belt today. He hits this one into right center field. That one will drop in the gap for a base hit. Weigel, though, a little bit slow to get into first base. I'm not sure maybe if he's hurt or not. Maybe just staying at first just because it wasn't hit deep enough into the gap. But nonetheless, the Dolphins get another base hit in the inning. They're now 8th hit of the game. Anthony Sotero will come up with a runner on and still nobody out. It's a Weigel now getting his second hit of this game. The Dolphins look to continue to add some insurance runs. So that one's on the outside for a strike 0-1. Let's look at the previous base hit from Vincent Weigel, his second of the game. As that one misses inside his Sotero, 1-1 the count. If I can, the first chance I'll get an update at softball. See what the score is currently going on there. That one in the dirt, good block from McGuarn. Count now 2-1. The current update is 3-3 the score in the bottom of the second inning at the softball complex. So early action in that one. As that one is in there for a strike, now evening the count at 2 apiece. The 2-2 from Husband. That one misses low for ball 3. So full count 3-2 to Sotero here with Weigel at first. The 3-2. And that one will miss for ball 4. So still nobody out in the inning. Sotero works the walk. And that'll bring up Michael Palermo. So Palermo earlier laid down a bunt to try to move runners to scoring position. With the Dolphins now up 3, we all know no lead is safe when you play these games. So don't be surprised if Palermo lays down a bunt here to try to move the runners up base in this one. And he will show bunt, and he will get hit by the pitch. Now the Lions are arguing that Palermo either leaned into it or it hit the bat. And the home plate umpire checks with the second base umpire. They say it did not hit the bat, and he did not lean into it. So Palermo will reach first with a hit by a pitch, and the Dolphins want to have the bases loaded for Nico Rodriguez. The Lions are certainly not happy with the call. They thought the ball was either hit by the bat or there was a lean-in by Palermo there. But now Rodriguez can open up this game right here. A 3-run lead for the Dolphins. Still nobody out in the inning. Infield is in for the Lions here. They're trying to prevent another run from scoring. Sala misses for a ball 1-0. That one hit into center field. That will be caught in center field. Gio Morales with a diving catch will prevent an extra base hit potentially. It's going to be a sacrifice fly regardless for Rodriguez. And it's now 7-3 Dolphins. Another great defensive play we've seen here today. As Morales, if not making that catch, would have allowed all three runners to score. One out now in the inning brings up Michael Keogh. We saw what happened yesterday, where Josh Shepard in center field tried to make a diving catch, and it allowed the Dolphins to score 3 runs as he missed his dive to make the catch attempt. That one, though, from Morales, a great job to make that play and prevent more than 1 run from scoring. It's now quickly an 0-2 count to the Dolphin catcher, Michael Keogh. The 0-2. That one hit again into center. Morales again is there. He will make the play. Sotero thought about tagging from second base. He will hold. And there's now 2 away. So 2 outs now in the inning for Brian Burkhead. Dolphins have attacked for 3 more here in the 8th. Their 1-run lead now is expanded to 4. And they would look to keep it going. For Brian Burkhead here, who's had a couple of base hits in this one. That one misses on the outside for a ball, 1-0. Now we saw Alex Martinez and Matthew Polomini warming up in the Dolphin bullpen earlier on this half inning. We'll see which one of them come out for the 9th inning. There's a good breaking ball from Husband right there. The count evens at 1. If Husband can limit the damage, only allowing 1 run out of the bullpen for him, that would be big for the Lions trying to get back into this game in the 9th inning. That one hits off the glove of Guarin for ball 2. Both runners will now advance. It's now a 2-1 count for the Dolphin left fielder. Game is certainly not over yet. Burkhead can get something into the gap. He might effectively end this one for CSI. The 2-1. That one in there for a strike on the outside corner. Now 2-2. Two and 2 now the count for Husband to Burkhead. And that one misses low for ball 3. So 2 outs, full count. Both runners will run on this next pitch. If Burkhead can get on, he'll bring up A.J. Vigliotti on deck. Here comes the 3-2 from Husband. That one hit into right field. That one's through for a base hit. The Dolphins will bring home another run as Sotero will slide into home safely on an RBI single from Brian Burkhead. 8-3, Dolphins lead this one. Brian Burkhead with his 3rd hit now of the game. Another one into right field. And with the runners advancing on the 3-2 pitch, it allows Sotero to score with ease on that one. A 4 spot in the 8th inning for CSI now gives them a 5-run lead. And it brings up A.J. Vigliotti with 1st and 3rd. Okay, look at the replay real quick as there's time being called at the plate. Another big at-bat for Brian Burkhead. 3 hits in this one. Now adding an RBI to his tally. His first pitch to A.J. Vigliotti missed for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. That one hit a mile high into right field. Jones is there. He will make the catch and retire the side. But not before the Dolphins attack for 4 runs in the inning. And we'll try to get the replay in just a moment. But the big blow coming from Thomas Martin. His 2-run homer gave the Dolphins a 6-3 lead at that point. We now head into the 9th inning. The Dolphins would attack for 2 more runs and give themselves an 8-3 lead heading into the 9th.
The legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Top of the ninth inning here at the CSI Baseball Complex. A now 8-3 lead for the Dolphins. As I mentioned before the break, the big blow coming from this hit right here. A 2-run homer for Thomas Martin broke the 1-run game into a 3-run game at that point, giving CSI a 6-3 lead. They would get 2 more runs in that bottom of the 8th inning. And they now have an 8-3 lead coming into the 9th. As Nick Pusinelli will come out back for the 9th inning. So he'll actually have a chance at the save here if he's able to close it out in the 9th. A 5-run lead now for the Dolphins. And Mike Morrow definitely trying to preserve all of his relievers in this game. And there's being a conversation now at home plate. Something went down with Michael Keogh as Mike Morrow now comes out. Not sure if words were exchanged with Keogh or one of the players from Lincoln or not. As now Morrow will talk to one of the coaches for Lincoln. Time is still being called. And we are now ready for the first pitch of the 9th inning. That one in there for a strike, 0-1. So Nick Pusinelli will look to get the save on this one and give the Dolphins their 3rd win in this 4-game set. That one hit into left, but shallow enough for Burkhead. He'll make the catch. And the Dolphins are now 2 outs away from the victory here in game number 1. 1 down in the 9th. Back to the top of the order for the Lions here. Miguel Agramonte comes up.
Now back, number 28, Miguel Agramonte.
We'll have to see if this could be Pusinelli's first save of the season. I would tend to think it would be, if he can get the job done. And this would be, in fact, his first save of the season if Pusinelli can get the final 3 outs of this game. He's 2 outs away now from doing so. The 1-0. That one hit into right. A long run for Palermo. He did it again! Michael Palermo did it again in right field. Another diving catch. And there's 2 away. Palermo was having himself a day out there in right field. He robs Agramonte of a hit. So it's up to Alex Jones now with 2 outs. As that one misses for a ball, 1-0. That one in there for a strike. 1-1 now the count. We saw yesterday Michael First getting his first save of the year. Antonio Gautreaux got a save as well against Mercy at Dobbs Ferry. Now Nick Pusinelli now 1 out away from getting a save here, as he's behind the count 2-1. The Lion right fielder is the last hope for Lincoln here as they try to extend this game. The 2-1. Misses on the outside for ball 3. So Pusinelli now down the count 3-1. Jalen Greenidge is on deck. The 3-1. That one hit down the left field line, foul. And the Lions are now down to their final strike. So 3-2 now the count for Jones. Pusinelli a strike away from getting the save and giving the Dolphins the 8-3 win. The 3-2. And that one misses on the inside for ball 4. So Jones will work a 2-out walk.
Now back, number 12, Jalen
Jalen Greenidge now comes up. Still no signs of action in the Dolphin bullpen. I did mention Martinez and Polomini were warming up at one point. And the last inning is that one misses high and inside for a ball 1-0. Dolphins would like Pusinelli to get this final out of the game without having to use another reliever. That one swung on a miss for a strike, 1-1. So it looks like Greenidge was a little bit out in front on that one. Jones the runner at first with 2 away. Greenidge the batter at the plate. 8-3 lead for the Dolphins. The 1-1. That one swung on a miss, strike 2. And once again, the Lions are down to their final strike. It'll be a 1-2 now from Pusinelli. And that one is hit foul towards the parking lot, still 1-2. Runner is in motion, and Jones will get into second safely. Count now 2-2 to Greenidge, as Alex Jones gets a stolen base. It'll be a 2-2 now from Pusinelli. And that one again his foul behind the plate. We'll do it again here, 2-2 with a runner on second and 2 away. And that one is swung on a miss for strike 3, and that one will do it. The Dolphins will pick up a win here in Game 1 of this doubleheader as they defeat the Lions 8-3. CSI trailed early 3-0 after a 3-run homer from Jaden Greenidge, hitting that one into dead center field. The Dolphins then would get 3 runs in the 4th inning, a 2-run double for Thomas Martin. An RBI single from Vincent Weigel tied the game. They then took the lead in the 5th on a sacrifice fly from A.J. Vigliotti. And then they would add 4 more runs in the 8th inning. The big blunt of that happening from a 2-run homer from Thomas Martin, his 4 RBI day, plus the Dolphins' strong defensive outing in this one as well. Great plays at first base from A.J. Vigliotti. Great plays at short from Nico Rodriguez. Michael Palermo with 2 diving catches as well as this one, as the Dolphins get a 8-3 victory over the Lions. They have now taken the first 3 games of this 4-game series with the Lions, and they are now 1 game away from a 4-game sweep of Lincoln, with game number 2 taking place in about 20 to 25 minutes after this one wraps up. Final line tally for this game: for the Lions, 3 runs on 6 hits and the 1 error. For the Dolphins, they get 8 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. Christian Rice will get the win. Dennis Flores will drop this one with the loss. And Nick Pusinelli will get a very long save, but he does get the job done, giving CSI the 8-3 win. So as I mentioned, we'll be back here for game number 2's live stream in about 20 to 25 minutes as the Dolphins and Lions will wrap up their 4-game set here at the CSI Baseball Complex. As I mentioned, at softball, they are still currently getting underway. Game number 2 is now in the top of the 4th inning. It is 3-3 between the Dolphins and the Knights of Queens College. But for us here at the Baseball Complex, we'll be back in 20 to 25 minutes for game number 2 of the doubleheader between the Dolphins and the Lions. CSI takes game 1, 8-3.